soccer. Let's put my hair up in the bun. And we got
really go for that Zlatan look.
Got somebody slightly less famous than Zlatan. We got Golden Guardian n0ne on the sticks.
n0ne, Edgar Shelby. Honestly, an enigma for most people, but if you've ever spent more than 5 minutes with him, you can tell he's probably one of the nicest guys in the scene.
And the highest placing Falcon ever at a Genesis.
Of course. Who could forget about that legendary run?
Zlatan is pretty dang good already. That laser control, that 2 lasers stop and wait, turn around like back. That's such a difference between Falcos, is the cadence and the rhythms in which they laser and how easily you can pick up on them. And just that wait in between, a little dash dance in between lasers, a little stop, see how they react to your laser. It's been 10 seconds. Why would you keep spamming laser? See what they do after the laser in the first place. And just that ability that it already seems as Zlatan be trying to adapt, I think is going to bode well for them in the rest of this tournament. Not that it's going to be enough to necessarily take out n0ne, because as we're seeing, if anyone can be explosive, they can.
Well, there are certain things, right? Like when you've watched this game long enough, or even my layman caveman understanding of it, there are certain things that people can do in this game where I instantly go, this person knows what they're doing.
Exactly.
This person at least has 500 hours of melee under their belt. If they're capable of doing something like that, then they've got 500 hours or so. Or at least 500 hours worth of effort consolidated into less. Yeah,
and coming out here and not being as necessarily as well versed with all the hidden players on the East Coast, MDVA side and stuff, I was bringing that up as well, because Zlatan, as the Falco player and not soccer player, I have never heard of personally. But just within those first 10 seconds, it was very clear to me that this player is pretty dang good, and I'm excited to see what they do this whole tournament. I wasn't excited for that.
No. That doesn't excite me. But it's always exciting to see n0ne doing his thing. One of the most entertaining melee players in the world, and showing no signs of slowing down as he becomes more of a veteran. I remember when he was the new guy on the scene. Now he's kind of a mainstay and considered a crafty veteran.
Yeah, a crafty veteran is definitely a good way to describe n0ne. Crafty little kookster.
Speaking of crafty, that tomahawk goat
Speaking
behind.
of crafty?
Oh my God!
That was no Kraft mac and cheese.
Oh my God! A combo made by an algorithm to look as cool as possible and as little hits as possible. But Zlatan not letting it affect him, going right back in, asking for more.
We're evened up right now. Zlatan on the lead.
Well, that's one thing you can do against Edgar that you can't do against most other high-level players. Because of the way he plays and the amount of risk that he takes, you can get a little bit more % on him than you can on, say, like back in the day, it would be like a Gravy or a Wizrobe or somebody like that. But, just people who play safer as a principle, he's not really one of those people.
Yeah. I love, we're talking about the safer ones and such. Slightly off topic, you got the safer ones we're talking about, and you got the n0nes, you got the Johnnies. Somebody who I think is so underappreciated, blends it so well, and even right now in this current days is so amazing, is Gatsu. Gatsu. Nobody talks about Gatsu anymore.
Shout out to
Gatsu.
Guts, baby.
Yeah. That's all.
Yeah, that's it. That's the commentary for the rest of the match. No, but yeah, I think that out of that triumvirate of Falcons from back in that era, he is the one who is still around, still pushing it.
Amazing tip man.
Oh, that tip
looking like
man.
Rock Croc.
That tip man. It's not a tip man. That's a tip man right there.
Yeah, for real. He's eating some linguine on tonight. And
nobody's really done the reverse up air as much and as consistently as n0ne as far as Falcon, right?
Nor as effectively.
Yeah, effectiveness. Like, people were aware of that since Tipman did it with Ganon, and they were like, we could probably do that with Falcon. They did it once, and they were like, oh, that'll never work.
Yeah.
but n0ne uses it so reliably.
Oh, he wanted single hit in air right there. He wanted single hit in air right there. I would have loved to see that. Let's hear. You can close out this edge guard. I mean, Falco can obliterate this stock.
Right. We all know that, it only takes a couple shines on this character to really get things going, but n0ne's not going to let that happen.
Yeah, and like we're talking about with Zlatan even just having an obvious base level being pretty decent, the percents become significantly less meaningful the better players get. Especially in a matchup like that, I would say is a better example of that. because the explosiveness and combo game these players can pull out at any moment can just, that's the game right there. It doesn't matter if you get 130, 140. I mean, you get one opening. A lot of players nowadays can take that the whole distance.
Yeah, I think Zlatan definitely has a long bracket ahead of him. There's a reason that he made it to that match with n0ne, and we clearly saw that he had some skill in that set. But n0ne's one of the best in the world. He's one of the best at this game that's still playing it, and he proves it once again here this weekend. We'll see what kind of run he's